talking, of course, about the SEC versus Ripple case. And this case, which is the second loudest after the Telegram one, really showed everyone the need of actual regulatory clarity. And until it reached cases of any range, smaller ones or bigger ones, like the one with Telegram or XRP here, can altogether be a true security case or a business battle case or a politically flavored case. What do you think of the Ripple case? Where does it put the SEC and where it can direct the blockchain community? Who would like to kick off here?
I will kick off. I think that it's the most unfortunate case, and it's hard to really get into the mindset of the SEC to bring the action. There's a lot of commentary floating around about that's positioning the case against the comments that William Hinman made back in 2018 about Ethereum being sufficiently decentralized that it's not of interest to the SEC. The SEC now seems to be saying that, oh, look, because there is a company, Ripple, that seems to make a difference. When, if you look at it from a functional point of view, the fact is that Ethereum, the developers of Ethereum at the Ethereum Foundation are effectively still evolving Ethereum in a similar way. My expectation is that this is simply creating uncertainty, that it is highlighting the failure of the SEC actually to do better in terms of clarity to an industry that is already huge and becoming larger. And my prediction on an outcome is that if we get enough exchanges between the lawyers, this will provide interesting insights, but that we won't get to a court judgment on it. I think we'll get to a point where there's a face-saving settlement from both sides, pretty much like Telegram, pretty much like EOS before it, and that's where we will be left, which unfortunately is kind of like 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards.
So what happened in Davos? The event led to the launch of a universal digital payment network. Yep, guys, and that's the start of what we all know as this century's XRP bullish move. There's no way that this network will not include XRP's network into it. That's because Ripple offers the best network for cross-border payments with the least amount of fees, which is what we're all looking for. But before we get down to the latest that has happened around the XRP network, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome to Moneyside, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button, and you can always leave a comment or a question in the section below.
I actually think something will happen. It's just will wow us all that we hadn't even considered. But it's in the second phase, not in this first phase of hype, disappointment. And I don't think we're anywhere near the disappointment. The disappointment takes years, and then all of a sudden, like the phoenix from the ashes, it rises up again. And it's once the distributed process is all out there and there's not nodes like a Bitcoin nodes, but nodes of users. It's like,
for me, this event that you're hosting, Olga, this morning is about smart regulation. And the United States is teaching us exactly how not to do it. We still have a piece of legislation from 1946, which determines what a security is. And we're calling that interpretation and adapting it to a digital asset. You've got to be bonkers if you think that sort of framework is going to give any firm and any business any degree of certainty or security as to how they can manage their businesses. And therefore, that's where this event is focusing on smart regulation, because I believe that the US takes the view that when something is big enough, then it's going to move in and do things to it, which nobody knows where they're going to come from, why they're going to come for it. And the whole thinking behind regulatory action, in my view, should be when you're breaching something. And I don't see that in the United States. And so I think the sooner that they get to grips with actually deciding who's going to regulate this space, how they're going to regulate this space, and why they're going to regulate this space, the whole blockchain space and the whole crypto area will dramatically grow as a result of that certainty, because that's what firms are crying out for. So when firms come to Gibraltar, they want to know that they're coming here for certainty. You want a legal framework, you know what you have to do, you know which hoops you have to jump through, you know what you have to do to stay on the right side of the law. That is a framework that gives people the certainty to be able to confidently invest and grow their businesses. And so the Ripple case, the Telegram case, and unfortunately there'll probably be a few more firms very worried looking over their shoulders as to if they're going to get a call or not, for me stems from this lack of regulation. And that is what, I pulled a little hair I got left at, worrying about why we are in this position and why the US doesn't do what it should do, which is lead.
To get the ball rolling, Linkdo made a very interesting comment on Twitter saying Ripple Labs CTO David Schwartz recently came out and stated that the digital asset XRP meets the definition of a commodity. XRP is a raw good that trades in commerce, said Schwartz. For years now, Ripple has been in court with the SEC, but it now seems that this year is the year for the truth. There's definitely something that these guys know that we don't, and that's why they've constantly held back Ripple from reaching its full potential. The SEC uses old rules to define digital assets, which shouldn't be the case. I mean, crypto is a tech that hasn't been around for that long, and with that in mind, we should bring new regulations to deal with this industry. But that's not what is currently happening. Right now, we are in a looming fear of recession, and most people will run to crypto to hedge against the financial situation in the world. If we don't have the proper regulations, most people will miss out on the opportunities in the crypto world. This is actually the perfect time to invest in crypto, but the US seems to be holding it off. Are they afraid that everyone will run to crypto and soon replace the world reserve currency? I mean, I can see a future where XRP is the world reserve currency. Now, it might sound like a dream, but it's not that far-fetched. All it takes is the right regulations and the right conditions. That's it. The whole world will see the endless application of XRP and might choose to go with it as the future. Call me crazy, but I think this is a future that Gary Gensler has already seen happening, which is why he went for the one currency that could have easily replaced the US dollar. However, he might not be able to hold it down for that much longer. Soon enough, this case will end, and XRP will go straight to the moon in a matter of days, if not hours. So hold on to your XRPs and don't sell them. Meanwhile, don't forget to keep your cryptos off exchanges and in cold wallets.
Here's the problem. The SEC isn't interested in clarifying what areas of the crypto industry fall under SEC jurisdiction. We know that because FinHub, that you've referred to, the SEC division focused on crafting crypto regulation, has essentially dissolved under Gensler. Nonetheless, while abandoning good faith attempts to clarify how the Commission's existing authority applies to digital assets, the SEC is hell-bent on expanding the size of its crypto enforcement division and using enforcement to unconstitutionally expand its jurisdiction. Under Chair Gensler, the SEC has become a power-hungry regulator, politicizing enforcement, baiting companies to, quote, come in and talk to the Commission, then hitting them with enforcement actions and discouraging good faith cooperation. Understand, sir, there is a new day coming. Thank you. I yield back.
Saudi Arabia, China, Russia, they're starting to move their entire economy. Russia is now backing their ruble with oil. So it's like a petrodollar. Oh, that'll never work. Oh, wait a minute. That's what we did. Until Saudi Arabia said, yeah, we're going to accept anything. Really, you Chinese can pay us in the yuan. We're fine with that. We'll take a ruble. Whatever. What does it mean? Why have we not discussed? What does it mean with the death of the petrodollar? It means that half the world, the part of the world that's not with us, is no longer required to hold a dollar, a US dollar. What happens when half the world's countries say, oh, we don't need the dollar? They begin to sell them. They already are. And if they're sold, what happens? They go out in the system instead of in a bank, which does what? Too many dollars in the system chasing too few goods, inflation goes up. So what do? You raise interest rates. Well, the problem now is, as we are seeing the death of the petrodollar, you're also seeing the Fed in a very unusual place. Raising even another half point is spooking everybody who pays attention to this stuff. The Fed has to raise interest rates to get inflation under control. But when they do that, this is how they control inflation. They take more money from you, they slow your spending down, and so that causes you not to go chase those goods with the dollar, okay? And then they're supposed to take those dollars in interest that they get, take them back into the Fed and destroy them so there's not too many dollars. So the first step on this road is to hurt you and your bank account and your ability to buy things.
Blockchain environment. They need to settle huge amounts of money every day. And it's going that direction. It has to be a high price. And so that's what keeps me as firm in XRP in all the ups and downs.
Absolutely. And you're right about everything you said there. But, people also need to understand that when we talk about the price of XRP, we have to look at the debt. And central banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they found a solution, which is blockchain. They actually are going to, in my opinion, based on the research, and also I can confirm this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before all this integration started to happen. So this was a few years ago. They agreed upon a price, and I got a lot of information from Linda P. Jones has a friend who worked at the Central Bank of Australia, and she said that they agreed upon a price, and it's in the thousands. Now, when we again talk about the XRP price, we have to look at the global debt, the incentive for central banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to utilize this source of liquidity from XRP to facilitate, transparency and moving into the digital economy. This is what they're going to be using. XRP is a financial instrument to serve the global economy. When you start to take all these things into account, and again, like David Schwartz said, the price has to be.
As always, please do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All the videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can let us know what you think in the comment section below, and let's start a conversation. Thanks as always for watching. Couldn't be here without you. Don't forget to like this video, and please click on that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on notifications, that way you get posted when we put up new content. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Money Side.